everybody. It's your girl, PJamma, with PJammaLyfe. And look who's back. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
And so you know me, but do you know these old codgers right here? Let me give them a chance to introduce themselves. Say hey to the people, Patrick.
Hey to the people. Glad to be back. Missed last week. Had a lot of things to talk about She-Hulk. I'll just catch up. Don't worry.
Yeah, we missed you last week with the discussion of She-Hulk. We couldn't figure out some things. So now that our encyclopedic Patania is in the building, we'll get all the Marvel knowledge along with sci-fi knowledge, sci-fi guru extraordinaire David. Say hey to the people.
Hello, everybody. I guess it's another old codger coming at you here. I try and talk like this, as they're called that. What a fun week of shows here as we're closing out the summer. Exciting time. So winter is coming, and let's talk all about it.
All right, because we are going to talk about It's Finally Back, and hopefully it will redeem our Martin series, House of the Dragon, and She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, as well as the season covering of Only Murders in the Building. So let's get started with, of course, the new series, number one series of all time on HBO Max. And I think HBO, House of the Dragon. Let's take a look.
In those days, House Targaryen stood at the height of its strength, with 10 adult dragons under its yoke. No power in the world could stand against it.
Gods give just as the gods take away.
Everyone says Targaryens are closer to gods than to men, but they say that because of our dragons.
You could be a great ruling queen. Strong enough to unite the realm against the cold and the dark.
Well, since Patrick is the one who's read all the books, let's let him start us out.
Okay. Well, I don't have any real text. I mean, I'm not as invested in this as much as I am the Lord of the Rings stuff. I'm just going to tell you, if you think I'm a Marvel nerd, wait until we get going. I'll talk about the trailer when we have our little end of the discussion thing here. But let's, it wasn't bad. I mean, I'm it's like anything when you're starting new. It's kind of hard to get into individual characters. There's a lot of people that, you haven't seen before and you're trying to figure out where they're at. Great to see Matt Smith, who's like one of my favorite actors. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and he was awesome. And he was really good in The Crown, too, as well. If you haven't seen that, very, very, very good. I do like the feel of Westeros. It's a little bit dirty. It's a little bit the way you would think that a real medieval town might have been, as opposed to these, like in the Lord of the Rings movies, Gondor was, and it's all high, mighty and all that sort of stuff. There's some real dirt, going on in Westeros. So I do enjoy that. I mean, that's gives a little bit more reality to, where they have dragons flying around. But it's kind of early to judge. It's just starting. Yeah. I don't want to make any real. I mean, what I saw was good. I mean, it's just I don't care yet. Don't care yet. I mean, We'll see. I mean, I don't care about any of these characters yet. I mean, you look at the way the Lord of the Rings, or not Lord of the Rings, but Game of Thrones went. I mean, it took a lot of seasons. You developed a real attachment to Arya and to Sansa and all the others. You know, it took you a while. And the first episode or two was kind of weird, and then I mean, they did come out pretty strong in the first episode where Jamie pushes Bran out the window because he's having sex with his sister. Details, but. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Game of Thrones started out kind of slow, but they had a couple real good hooks at the ends of the episodes that really brought you in. This one just kind of, they're assuming you're already invested because you watched so much of Game of Thrones. So we'll see where it goes. Okay,
David, what did you think?
Well, it's interesting. I thought they did a wonderful job of taking the audience by the hand at the beginning with the opening prelude. Had a lot of words, and then they said 172 years before Daenerys. All right. If you didn't want to read anything else, you understand the time frame. My understanding is that this is based on some notes and kind of background information that was in the book Fire and Ice. It was almost like the way kind of Tolkien had some background stuff about his Middle Earth world. Mm-hmm. And so I think they had this as a good premise to begin, but there's a reason why some things are in the backstory. It's the background notes that gets to the central issue. Let's see where we go with this. I thought, unlike Game of Thrones, we're going to be comparing back and forth throughout. Did I like it? Yes. I didn't find the characters necessarily characters that you can really grab onto or connect. I didn't see a feeling. And I saw initially, again, maybe it was the cast, but with that initial episode of Game of Thrones, you kind of know who people are, and there's excitement about it all pretty quick with it. It did remind me, though, that this week I had to get my dog neutered. I'll give that just as a quick little spoiler for one of the horrific scenes in this. I'm looking forward to it. I love Matt Smith. I hope they pull a Newhart, man, and I hope Jenna Coleman pops out, zaps him in the head, and says, "Doctor Who, this has all been a terrible mistake. Come with me." And we'll see how that goes.
No.
Even better have Alex Kingston come and do it.
Oh,
that'd be great.
Okay.
Even better.
So
I'll stick with Jenna Coleman. But anyway.
Okay. I came to Game of Thrones late. I came the year it started up again, because when the first episode came out and Jamie pushed Bran out the window, and they were showing an incestuous relationship, I was like, nope. So I didn't watch it its entire run until the last year. My sister was like, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. We have to talk about it. So I started watching it and then got hooked after that. So I'm a recent convert to the Game of Thrones world. And this was a really nice kind of prequel to start. I think they have a ways to go to establish the characters and the world and everything. But I thought that you could tell they had money to spend on this show, because the look of it is beautiful and the sets are really fantastic. And so I think that it's something that people know, but I think there's going to be some surprises. So I'm very excited to see where it's going. Did I immediately love it? I don't know yet, but that's okay, because I didn't immediately love Game of Thrones. So I feel pretty good about where it's headed. But let's talk about the elephant in the room to me, which is I don't know what's going on with people. That the Corlys character has gone through a lot of hate and racist kind of shout outs to him about his character. And if you don't know, listen, we're taping this on Saturday, a week, almost dang near a week after. So it's gonna be full of spoilers, y'all. So Corliss is married to I forget her name, but he's married to the cousin of the king.
The queen that never was.
Yeah, the queen that never was some cold-blooded shit to say to somebody. But but he is black, and but he has the famous white hair, and is on the court, on the council, right?
The quiet council.
Yeah, but somehow it's more believable for there to be dragons flying around than for a black man to be wealthy and in a fantasy sequence. It's ridiculous. If you out there being prejudiced, you need to be ashamed of yourself because you don't make no sense whatsoever. And stop it. Just stop it. So that's what I have to say about that. What do you all think about some of the chatter that's going on with the show?
Well, I missed it. Honestly, I didn't hear anything about that.
Oh my gosh.
One of the great things about science fiction and fantasy is it can remove us from all of those things. And while we come into things with some preconceived notions, I don't understand it. I didn't really notice. I didn't really think anything of it. Right. I'm trying to figure out who's who.
Exactly.
Yes.
More than anything, man has a great
I thought
voice.
It was cool because then you saw his little kids, and they all had the white hair too. So it's a shame that racism has to rear its head in every facet of our lives, but there are ignorant people in every facet of life. So
ignorant people with loud voices and a big megaphone. That's what we've got right now in America. So here we go.
I bet you they won't come up to the actor's face and say that stuff. I bet you they won't.
Yeah, that's one of the things with the internet. You've been given a level. You've given a loud megaphone and a sense of anonymity behind usernames and call signs and whatnot that just really it just strips away the level of civility because you think we can say whatever we want behind this, and it's just poor form. I didn't see anybody who didn't give a good performance in their roles. I thought everybody did a good job that way. We'll see how the story unfolds. But there's really no place for that. And I think there's, we saw a lot of this with Star Wars, or at least we saw that criticize stories, criticize plot, criticize dialogue. But the person who takes on the opportunity to do their job, do something that they love to do, give them the benefit of the doubt, man. There's just no place for that. A lot of talented folks, and just let the talent shine and be open to them. Be respectful and be open.
Well, Steve Toussaint is super fine, so I want to see more of him. And then the other big scene was the childbirth scene. Ooh, so graphic, so horrible.
I mean, that's the thing I was talking about. It's dirty. It's dirty and gritty and realistic as far as the depiction of all, these medieval battles that you see, a lot of times they're always kind of sanitized.
Right.
It is brutal crap. You'd be hacking someone's arm off, and they're gonna lay there screaming for a couple minutes until the blood loss kills them. But you just
or sepsis from all these dirty swords going around. Oh,
yeah.
But this, I think that it was true. I mean, this is what happened until very recently. People act like this kind of stuff didn't happen until very recently. And still today, women maternal health is an issue in this country. So, men were making choices for women about, their very livelihood. So childbearing and birth has been dangerous for women for a long time. And so, and I thought it was really good that they had her talk about, this is like the 5th pregnancy I can't do anymore. And you see how dangerous it was for her each time. So I think that, it was some interesting chatter about that as well, because it is horrifying to kind of watch it. But I mean, that's what happened back then. And people need to understand that childbirth we have it good now, but even in some parts of the world and even in this country, childbirth can be very dangerous.
Our mortality rates for infants and mothers is pretty low for the Western world. I mean, there's some real issues that we have to address here. But people make a lot of decisions about pregnancy and maternity things, and they don't know anything about it. Right. And I'm going to speak for myself. You start talking about, use a word, ovulation or something, I don't understand, man. I got to go to a book, which is why my own position, I think the people who understand that and are aware of it need to make those decisions for themselves, because, man, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people and legislators across the country. They don't either.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
Yeah. Very well said. So definitely I think you should watch House of the Dragon. And we'll be talking about it, the whole series, from now until October, right here on PJammaLyfe. Okay. Next up is the goofiest show that Marvel has put out, which is She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Let's take a peek.
Lady Hulk, Girl Hulk, She-Hulk. Come on, just give them what they want.
GLK&H had to declare a mistrial because you, as your She-Hulk.
That is not what I call it.
Sorry, I have to let you go.
Wait, you're firing me?
The thing that you were dreading happened, but look, you're still standing. And now you get to keep moving on.
Mr. Holloway?
I'd like to offer you a job. We just started a superhuman law division, and I want the She-Hulk to be the face of it.
Oh.
That means I'll expect you to be at work and in court as the She-Hulk.
I'm gonna have to buy an entirely new wardrobe just to come to work.
Yeah, and you're making enough money where you can do that now.
The first case is the parole of Emil Blonsky.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. Little technical stuff going on, but Pat, okay, give us the lowdown on She-Hulk.
Okay, now they've got most of it right. I will tell you. I mean, there's some slight differences, like, she got her powers from getting a transfusion from Bruce Banner in the books, so similar, real close. Not gonna quibble over any of that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. But you know what? I gotta tell you, this show is amazing. It is so entertaining. Tatiana Maslany has been one of my favorite actresses since Orphan Black. Yeah, because she is ridiculously talented. They're doing a real good job with it. I mean, they're bringing some things back into it. You got Emil Blonsky, you got Tim Roth, big name there. Making an appearance. Going to make several appearances, it would appear. The whole idea, she in the book, she wasn't able to transform back and forth at will. So that was having her appear as a She-Hulk all the time was kind of the thing. Yes, because that's what she looked like all the dang time. So really good with it. I mean, like I said, there's so much good stuff in this, I don't know if you guys stick around and watch all the way through the end, because they're doing a Marvel thing where they put end credit scenes afterwards.
That was cute. This week was cute. And did you catch? I think David, I'm sure, caught who her father was.
Oh yeah. From Perfect Strangers.
Yes. And I was like, I know David's gonna catch that.
entertaining. Like I said, it's really staying close to the books as far as the origin story. It's got a really good feel to it, I think, versus some of the stuff. Like I said, I've been kind of rewatching some of the Marvel series, and I forget how good certain ones were. Hawkeye was really good. I forgot how good that was rewatching it, and Loki, how just ridiculously good that was.
Yeah.
Looking through some of these things, and this one is just right on par with all that, but it's got a different feel. It's not serious. It's definitely tongue in cheek about a lot of stuff. Yeah. Like when she transformed from being the Hulk, and she'd been drinking all that time, and then back down to Jessica, and all of a sudden she's wasted because obviously there's a bulk issue, a Hulk issue, as it were, where size, just size, and so I was like, there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I mean, this is I'm really interested in seeing where they go. I know that Charlie Cox is making his Marvel debut, his MCU Marvel debut. Well, I guess technically did. He made it in Spider-Man No Way Home. So that was good.
Is it too short, Pat? I just find myself going, it's too short. Each episode is too short.
Oh, no. I think that's good because it's able to. It's good editing, is what this is. I mean, the story flows really good, really fast. It's moving along. It doesn't give you time to get bogged down in ridiculous stuff. I mean, I'm so far super excited with this. I'm really pleased with this. This is definitely it's a different feel.
Yeah.
I mean, they've went all over the place. If you look at the Marvel series that they put together, you had WandaVision, which was totally groundbreaking because of the way they did it.
Yeah.
You had Loki, you had Hawkeye, you've had the Captain America, or was Winter Soldier and Falcon, but it's actually Captain America, whatever. There's every one of these episodes, every one of these series has had a different feel, and this is great. I mean, this has got definitely the humorous aspect that you just got little seasonings of throughout some of the other series. Loki obviously had some humor because he's Loki, and then you had WandaVision trying to be humorous, but it was supposed to be sitcom humor, so it wasn't as funny. But I mean, they've done a real good job of balancing and coming out with different ways to do everything. So I am loving She-Hulk.
Okay, I don't know if I'm loving it. I'm liking it. Like, I like it. Yeah. And maybe we can date, but I'm not ready to get married to it. Maybe we can fool around a little bit, but
short-term booty call. I got you. Okay, right.
But yeah, it's because I feel like the story isn't quite doing enough explanation for me to really get into it. Like Titania, I'm like, oh, okay. And then there was no explanation about her. She just
it'll come back.
In the room, and then she busted out, and then that was that. And I'm like, who the hell is? And why is Jamil dressed so horribly and looking so terrible? That was terrible. And and there was just no explanation. And then the same thing kind of I felt like with Abomination, you didn't. I don't know his story, so I was like, well, what did he do to Bruce Banner?
It's canon.
It was part of the movies.
It's in the movie.
You gotta go see.
How long ago was that? A long time ago.
Definitely
15 years ago or something.
Phase one. Definitely phase one.
So that's early 2000s. So I don't remember, but I thought it was cute when Smart Hulk said, I'm a completely different guy than I was then. I thought that was super cute.
It's a great line.
And I think I thought his was a nice introduction and, kind of setting things up. And now he went off with the Shikari. And so he won't be back, I think, for the rest of the season.
They've done that on purpose to get him out of there and make it Jennifer's or Jessica's story.
Right. Jennifer.
Jennifer, yes.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, I get it. And I thought that was really nice how they did that. They really didn't explain the Shikari either. So, it's just little things that I think for people who don't remember or at this point might not have been born for the first phase might understand about the show. So I'm looking for more narrative, which is going to have to come with a little bit more time per episode. So this might be one that I might have to binge once it's, to the final episode to really fall in love with. What do you think, David?
Well, you asked the question, did it seem too short? And my answer is yes. I'm like, what? It's already over? That is my criticism of it. And you always want to leave your audience wanting more, I suppose. But this is a show because of the protagonist, her stage presence, the script, all of it. I could do for more time with She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I am pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoy this show. Not that I was thinking it was going to be bad. I just think it's that wonderful. I love the callbacks to the Ed Norton film. That was great. And it was kind of, we've had this with the Spider-Man, and they went back and they did the metaverse. Like, oh, well, we're all counting here. Here, they just kind of just wink at you and say, just go with it. But one of the things that I love, and I'm not a Marvel, expert by any means. That's how Patrick earns his pay on the show. But one of the things I love.
Paid?
Oh, sorry, Pam.
Dude, come on.
This show brought to you by Bic, our new sponsor. Bic, just flick it. No. I love the fact that the abomination that we saw, just a quick glance of in this show, looked nothing like the abomination from the movie, but actually really hearkened to the comics and the action figures that we've seen based on the comics. So I thought that was cool. I love the She-Hulk character. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And just the show should be longer. That's my biggest criticism of it. I can stand more time. But it's fantastic what we're seeing and what they're doing with the characters. So bravo, Disney. You are earning whatever I'm paying you. You are earning that.
And don't forget, in a couple weeks, it is Disney Plus Day. And we'll be reviewing Thor, Love and Thunder. Yeah. So we'll get a chance to finally see it on Disney Plus. So get ready for that. And our final pick of the week is the finale of Only Murders in the Building. We finally got to know who done it. So let's take a peek.
We're picked up for a series already. 18 episodes on CBX.
Whoa! I did try your podcast, yeah. It sucks.
Is there going to be a second season?
Well, second seasons are tough,
Charles Hayden Savage. Bloody Mabel Mora.
Oliver Putnam.
Must you poop on every party, Charles? Can't we have a little dramatic tension here?
So you have 3 people who solve true crimes that you couldn't figure out. And you don't even have the real murder weapon?
God, do you not watch these?
Oh boy. Patrick, what'd you think?
Oh, I love this series. The series is delightful. It does a really good job of not giving everything away through it until the very end reveal. Great. That's a good thing a mystery does. I mean, and there are clues back there if you look back and rewatch it. But real good job. All the principal performances are amazing. Of course, Steve Martin, Martin Short, comedic geniuses, arguably. And then Selena Gomez comes in and holds her own with them. That was impressive enough right there, that she was able to. I mean, she was definitely the deadpan thing they were playing off of. Martin Short being completely, and and the wonderful guest cameos they have in there.
Yes.
You have Nathan Lane. You saw Amy Schumer there. You got Shirley MacLaine. I mean, there was a whole crap ton of big names just showing up for an episode or two, and doing their thing and then leaving. But these people that they're bringing in are all heavy hitters, and they all are masters of what they do. So I mean, super
Oscar
good.
winners, Tony winners, EGOTs.
Yes. I mean, the people they got going, they're super good. I mean, in the story itself is engaging and makes you want to know what's going on. I mean, you become part of these people's lives. Really well done. I love it.
Yeah. And the chemistry between them is so good. I just love their relationship and watching the three of them. I love seeing Martin Short and Steve Martin. Just like, I'm sure a lot of it's just like improv. They're just riffing off of each other. They just say, yeah, go and talk about it. But the little side stories are interesting too. The one about the son and the paternity test, and the story of Poppy and Bunny's story and Charles's father and that story. I mean, those stories were really interesting in and of themselves. But it wasn't kind of just plopped in there and forgotten. Like, I kind of felt like She-Hulk was doing a little bit, but they were so integrated into the show that it all made sense at the end. And so I understand that Steve Martin has said he's going to retire once the show is, had its run.
After, they got to have another season. That cliffhanger was just too big.
I think it's probably about one more season. I mean, he's what, 70 something, if not almost
upper
80
70s,
something.
upper 70s.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not mad, but he's in this wonderful, wonderful show now. I want to see more of him when he did the slow walk, the slow motion.
Oh my God, yes.
And it reminded me so much of him back on SNL or on The Jerk or something. It was just like, I loved it so much. So
he's 77. I just looked it up. He's 77.
Yeah. So, I don't want to be working when I'm 77, so I get it, but he's such a master of everything. It's just great. And David, what did you think?
Man, I love the show. I thought it was just such a great concept in season 1, and I have really enjoyed it throughout season 2. Just a great.
Did it start a little slow though at the beginning?
I think it lost me in the middle for a little bit, more so than the first.
Yeah.
But when you watch it in its sum total, it is just fantastic.
It is.
And just like last season, you have this incredible cliffhanger there with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
And I'm enthralled by it. There's the wonderful actress who was new to the show this year, who was in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Also, a Robin Williams film. Probably was overall, but this woman made the movie. It was called Club Paradise. So for those of you who are watching,
no, not Club Paradise.
Yes.
One of the worst movies. Hey, did we see that back in college or something?
Maybe.
Oh my God!
Go back and watch the one guest. Go back and watch the one guest. That woman was brilliant in that movie. She saved that movie, and she is great in everything. She was just a one-woman show of humor.
What's her name?
I gotta find. I don't know.
Which character was it in Only Murders?
It was the assistant. It was the makeup lady.
Oh, Andrea. She was in FCTV, I think.
Yes. She's
been around forever. Yes, right. Yes.
But she shined. She shined in Club Paradise, man.
Yeah, their final scene I thought was very cute and very I was like, oh, they are so cute together. So,
and I'm calling it. She's the killer.
Oh,
no idea. I'm just gonna say she's the killer.
No.
Season 3. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody hasn't watched this, the death scene at the very end with my boy from KC.
Whoop whoop.
All right.
KU Jayhawk.
Eternally young.
All the best ones are Jayhawks, just so you know. Yeah. So definitely It's going to be a holiday weekend soon, so you can binge the whole series. Only Murders in the Building. Definitely check it out. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. So next week, it's back. It's coming. What is it, Pat?
Rings of Power, is that next week?
Yes, Rings
Okay.
of Power. If they haven't pushed it back. But I saw it was still slated. So we should be able to watch it next week. Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Rings of Power, the most expensive show, I think, ever for any movie, TV, film, everything. I think I heard it costs $1 billion to make, which is absolutely ridiculous. But here we go.
Okay.
Rings of Power. It better live up to its $1 billion price tag. And then, of course, She-Hulk and House of the Dragon. We just call it House of Dragon now. Or Dragon House now in my house. And because we want to honor all of our Indian fans out there who helped our RRR show go to almost 5,000 views, we're going to also take a look at the Netflix show Wedding Season, a new movie out. And so definitely come back, check us out, fellas. You want to say goodbye to the people? Patrick?
Well, I want to go back. Let's just do a little bit of a revisit on the Rings of Power.
Oh.
I've already got problems. I'm going to tell you. Okay, you guys think I'm a Marvel nerd? I'm a Tolkien nerd. I mean, serious Tolkien nerd. Okay, first off, you got Galadriel taking the sword out of Finrod's hand. Bullshit. Because Finrod did not die where Galadriel could do that.
Okay, all right. Wait a minute. You're going to have to save some of that juice for that.
Finrod died saving
Baron.
He was
Pat's Corner. We're going to have to institute Pat's Corner. You can...
For the Tolkien stuff, yeah, you're probably going to have to. You're probably going to have
We're
to.
going to give him 2 minutes to enlighten us on some stuff.
It looks good. I mean, I'm excited to see some of this stuff, and I understand it's in a kind of a dead space in the canon. It's very sparsely populated, so they have some room. If you got that room, why you want to go taking stuff out of the Second Age books and try to throw it in here? Wrong stuff on top of that. Man, were they talking to Peter Jackson? What the hell?
Okay. We are going to move. Would you say good night, people? To the
good night. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
You can bring all your frustrations with it next week.
Oh,
David, say good night to the people.
So long, everybody. I have no knowledge of what's going on in Rings of Power. I thought it was going to be a Green Lantern sequel. So,
nice.
looking forward to talking with you all next week after we get a chance to watch that House of the Dragons and get that much closer to Andor.
Which I'm very upset that they aren't premiering it for Labor Day weekend. That would have been perfect. But David and I also share a love of the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh God,
I love that movie. I love it so much. Okay, so we gotta get out of here. So we will see you next time on. Hey, there he goes on PJammaLyfe. Take care. Bye.
See you later.
See you guys.